Good afternoon, welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this afternoon. The Celtic aren't in action this afternoon, but the Celtic manager has been at the Motherwell game. He has been at the Motherwell game along with Fozzie taking in the game this afternoon. I wonder if the player he was looking at maybe scored this afternoon. Celtic are on the lookout for players. Martin O'Neill did say that he would have to watch videos, watch games of players before he decided who to make a move for in this transfer window. Can't wait for the 1.5 million offer to be rejected afternoon. And then he goes on to join Sevco. Let's get some of the scores. And there was an earlier score today in the Scottish Cup, an upset for Hibernian, outdone by... I've still got shaving foam on my face. Outdone by a previous Hibernian manager, outdone by a previous Celtic manager also. And Neil Lennon's Dunfermline beat Hibernian 1-0 today in the fourth round of the Scottish Cup. And you've got to say, that's a fantastic result for Dunfermline Athletic. Can we get a recap here?
Porn addiction turns high IQ.
We'll just turn that down a bit. Was played at Dunfermline's Park. Dunfermline with a nice grass pitch. Nice little fan base there this afternoon. Dunfermline looked as if they were played like quite well, going by the Scottish Cup YouTube page. Big Hibernian fan base there. But it ended up 1-0 to Dunfermline, which is a great deal. It's a great deal for Dunfermline, for the town, getting through to the next round and taking a big scalp like Hibernian. Hibernian have been playing some good football this year. We'll jump back into see if we can get the rest of the live scores. European time. That's the only one that's kicked off yet. I will jump back in later on this afternoon. But it is all about transfer window this live. Well, it is just games are just kicking off. Celtic are looking to, well, it looks like Celtic are going to lose out on a B team player that they were after, Michael Noonan. Celtic have lost the race for that player. It looks as if he's going to Germany. 17-year-old Shamrock Rovers star has been on the Hoops watch list for a while. Another Shamrock Rovers player. Johnny Kenny came from Shamrock Rovers, as did Liam Scales. He also came from Shamrock Rovers. But Celtic have been unable to convince the 17-year-old to come to Celtic. Motley Report said that Celtic made a fresh approach for the player, but it looks like he is now destined for Germany. If I was a Motherwell 1, Ross County 0, there we go. There's a scoreline that's coming in. Yeah, Motherwell have scored in their game today. Can't believe that some fans are moaning about the guy that went to Sunderland, slagging the club for not buying. They didn't want him in the first place. No wonder the club. There was everyone. I mean, the chat on here was a lot of people just did not want the player, and but anyway, forget about that. He's gone. It looks like the Celtic are preparing to move for a defender, an Eintracht Frankfurt defender, on loan until the end of the season. That's obviously because we know that Stephen Welsh has been brought back as cover. We do need other players as cover, but I still expect Stephen Welsh to be sold in this window. I think Stephen Welsh might play tomorrow, but he will only play tomorrow to let Scales and Trusty get a bit of a rest before the Europa League game. I think that the back two tomorrow may be Stephen Welsh and Dane Murray. I think it'll be Stephen Welsh and Dane Murray tomorrow. So another two-bob striker for Ireland, no ta. Well, we're not going to get the other two-bob striker from Ireland. And he was only a young player. He was only 17 years old. So, I don't know, we'll wait and see. 64 minutes in and Motherwell have scored. It'll be interesting if Martin O'Neill does say place the bid for the player. Let's see if we get some more. This guy is useless. There we go. Scottish Cup. Adrianans versus Arbroath 2-2. Dundee United versus Ayr. 87 minutes gone in that one. It is 1-0 to Dundee United. Celtic Hearts versus Cove Rangers is 1-1. Kilmarnock versus Dundee 1-1. A lot of games like they might be going to replays in the Scottish Cup. This is interesting. St Mirren versus Livingston 1-1 currently in the 90th minute. Motherwell versus Ross County is 1-1. Partick Thistle, goal for Partick Thistle. Partick Thistle versus Montrose 3-1 to Partick Thistle. Spartans versus Inverness, that's currently 0-0. Stenhousemuir versus Morton 4-0 to Stenhousemuir. And it looks like Stranraer Queen's Park was postponed, and that Falkirk versus Hearts kicks off later on tonight. That'll be a good one, the Hearts Falkirk one, because Falkirk are a good team. Can Falkirk do an upset? And should we do a watch along for that one? Don't like watching Hearts, but it could be worth a watch along on another channel. And then games tomorrow is obviously Aberdeen versus Rafe Rovers. It's a cracking tie for Rafe Rovers away to Aberdeen. They'll think that anybody could think we could take Aberdeen at the moment. Auchinleck Talbot versus Celtic is also tomorrow. And then we'll get the draw. If we get the draw tomorrow night, or will it be Monday night? It's usually Monday night, the draw, isn't it? Still waiting on some of these full-time results coming in. Yeah, Ben Summers went to Ayr United. Well, Celtic said Ben Summers went to Ayr United on loan, but Ayr United said Ben Summers has went to Ayr United on loan till the end of the season, and then they're going to buy him when he's out of contract. He's out of contract. Do you know, Celtic are going to get pittance. Absolute pittance for Ben Summers. The board giving the Celtic fans the big fuck you. Yeah, they're that. Even Stephen Welsh, Stephen Johnson even, says that one. There's a super chat came in. John the truck driving legend is in the house. Says, was that the Dunfermline game? For a game Dunfermline deserved it. Lennon as well liked there. Only downside is no Stephen State Fridays at the East End. Jesus, is there not? Why not? Stephen State Bridies, they're good State Bridies. They're way better than Kelly Pies. Way better. Thank you for the super chat this afternoon, John the truck driving legend. Dundee United have just scored against Ayr United. Dundee 2, Ayr United 0. Oof, big scoreline that's just came in. I'm just waiting on. There is full-time results. It's finished. Motherwell 1, Ross County 0. Partick Thistle is also full-time. That is Partick Thistle 3, Montrose 0. Stenhousemuir, that one has also finished 4-0. Stenhousemuir has beat Morton in their game. Oh, there's a correction. Wait a minute. What just happened? Someone just got a goal ruled off for Spartans versus Inverness. Goal, Dundee have just put a goal in against Kilmarnock. Get in there, Dundee. Get in there. Anything that goes in against Kilmarnock is brilliant. Dundee have just scored against Kilmarnock in the 90-odd minute. That makes Kilmarnock 1. Dundee FC 2. Cracking result for Dundee to beat Kilmarnock. The devastation and the disappointment for a certain new manager at Kilmarnock is absolutely fantastic. Can Celtic get the result there as the away team tomorrow? Can it be 2 days in a row for Kilmarnock's ground to for the away team to come out victorious? Just waiting on some of these other results finishing up for today. Let's jump into the chat and see what people are saying. Good afternoon, Baz. Dave Morton's in the house. Falkirk had a goal chopped off. Well, there we go. A lot of people a bit fed up. Is it a compulsory? But for in the summer for Ben, he's signed the deal. It's pretty much a loan with an agreement deal. And if you look at their website, it tells you their Facebook page. Let me go back onto the results. Full-time results are starting to come in. We're just waiting. There's still some games playing. Jesus, they're playing on fine, aren't they? But ones that are finished, Motherwell has finished 1-0. Martin O'Neill and Fozzie were looking at a player at Motherwell, and I wonder if he's the player that scored today. But Celtic need to bring in a striker. Spartans, has it finished? It's just good. It's not yet. Not yet. Just waiting on this. It's interesting that Martin O'Neill is at a certain game today. Celtic are preparing a loan move, but no yet. Oh no, it's about the 22-year-old defender. 22-year-old defender that Celtic are looking at on loan. And the other games are still kicking on. Balak Wisha is going to be used as a replacement for Maeda if he plays well, as Maeda normally plays in the sort of 10 free role. Yeah, that's what we spoke about this morning, Big Rab. Martin O'Neill did say that Balak Wisha is not a winger. According to Martin O'Neill, he's not a winger, he's more a number 10 player. Oh, it's extra time! Extra time! Games are going to extra time rather than a replay. So the games are going to extra time today. So in the Kelty Hearts versus Cove Rangers, it's breaks time as that game goes into extra time. Dundee are still beating Kilmarnock. The final whistle hasn't went for that one. Camelon Juniors versus Elgin City. Elgin City won 3-1 to that one. Airdrieonians versus Arbroath. It's currently 2-2 in that game. We are just waiting on the Dundee Kilmarnock one finishing, and Will Livingston versus St Mirren. Will that go to extra time? That's a battle of the basement boys stuff, SPL, isn't it? See which one of them come out on top. It would just be like Livingston to come out on top in that game and go on further in the cup when they're absolutely rank rotten at the bottom of the SPFL. Stenhousemuir versus Morton has also finished. It's looking like a lot of these games will go into extra time. Let me jump back into the chat. Wilson just scored. Just checking out. It's not flashed up on my screen yet. Yep. Extra time. Airdrieonians versus Arbroath. That has gone into extra time. Livingston versus St Mirren. That is also going into extra time. It looks like the Dundee United have beaten Ayr. Have been Ayr 2-0. So that is a confirmed result also, which is good. I'm just checking out. Kilmarnock man was sent off. Interesting that he was sent off. We're just waiting on the other ones are all going to extra time. But anyway, they won't affect Celtic. Well, we'll come back on later and watch the Aberdeen game. Not the Aberdeen, the Hearts Falkirk. Might do that actually. Yeah, I might do that. Do it on another channel. Right, anyway, that is me done and dusted. The breaking news this afternoon at Celtic Martin O'Neill was at the Motherwell game today. Maybe looking at a certain player that scored for Motherwell. Him and Fozzie were at the game today. They were pictured. And could Celtic be ready to put in a bid for a Motherwell player, only for Motherwell to reject it and the player to go elsewhere? Celtic have also lost out on a youngster that they'd been tracking for a while. It looks like he is now going to Germany. And the other news that Celtic are still looking at a 22-year-old centre-back on loan until the end of the season. Other than that, it's as you were with Celtic. We didn't expect anything transfer-wise to happen over the weekend, purely the fact because Nicholson and co are absolutely useless and don't work weekends. Don't seem to work any time at all, really. But anyway, maybe see you later on, boys and girls. Yep, Paul Munn, and keep an eye out. I will put it up on this channel, but it'll probably be on the other channel rather than watching Hearts on the Celtic channel. We'll watch it on the Baz Does Football channel, but I will put a notification up on here. Anyway, big shout out to John, the truck driving legend, who went along to the Dunfermline game today. Says that Dunfermline deserved it. And he says that Neil Lennon is liked there. The only downside is there was no Stevens steak Friday pies, Fridays at the game today. Life struggles. On that note, have an absolutely fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world.